Okay guys, so we're still working with conversions and proportions in this lesson. The difference is now we're converting between measurement systems. So that means we're converting between customary and metric, like inches to centimeters, feet to meters, miles to kilometers, ounces to grams, gallons to liters, those kinds of things, okay? And you can see here, they give us a conversion chart. So you're going to want to make sure that you have, that up when you're doing your conversion. So maybe pull this video up and pause so you can see the conversion chart. So I'm going to look down here at part A. It says the length of a sheet of paper is 11 inches. What is this length in centimeters? So I'm going to use WKU, and I know I'm going inches to centimeters. And if I look at my chart here, it tells me that 1 inch is approximately equal to 2 5400 centimeters, and this paper is 11 inches long. So again, how do I get from 1 to 11? Multiply by 11. That means I have to multiply 2 5400 by 11. And when I do that, pop it in my calculator, I'm going to get 27 9400. So the answer here, 11 inches, is equal to 27 9400 centimeters. Okay. If I was going to fill in this tape diagram, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So this would be 2.54. And then there's 11 of those. So that's times 11, 2.54 times 11 is how we got it, 27 9400 centimeters. Same thing for these types of conversions. So I'm going to look at number 3 here. So we want to know 14 feet is approximately equal to how many meters. So what am I converting here? I'm going from feet to meters. And if you look at that conversion chart, you will see that 1 foot is approximately 305 thousandths of a meter. And I have 14 of them. So how do I get from 1 to 14? I'm going to multiply by 14, of course. That means I have to multiply my denominator by 14. You would pop that in your calculator, and you're going to get 4 2700 meters. Decimal point. There it is. Okay. So that is how you would do that conversion using WKU. Okay. And then number 7 here says a flower bed is 2 meters wide and 3 meters long. They want to know what the area of the flower bed is in square feet. So, okay, you know that area is equal to length times width. So I should have that formula written down here. So I am going to do a WKU conversion, WKU, okay? So I'm talking about going from meters to feet, okay? And if you look at that conversion chart, feet to meters, you know that 305 thousandths meters is equal to 1 foot. I have 2 meters here. So again, how am I going to get from 305 thousandths to 2? Well, you would have to take that conversion factor and put it into your calculator. So you're going to take 2 and divide it by 0.305, and you're going to get times 6.55 here. That means you're going to multiply your feet by the same thing, right? So it's going to be 6 5500 feet. Okay, so now we have our width at 6 5500 feet. So now we need to do the same thing to figure out the length. So again, I'm going meters to feet. I have my conversion factor at 305 thousandths to 1. And this time I have 3 meters. So then in my calculator, I'm going to have to take 3, divide it by 3 and divide it by 0.305. I will end up with 9.84. So that means I multiply by 9.84. For my numerator, I have to do the same thing for my denominator. So 3 meters is 9 8400 feet. So that gives me my length, 9.84. So then in your calculator, to find the area in square feet, you're going to take 9.84 times 6.55, and you're going to get 64 and 45/100 feet squared for an answer. Okay? What you cannot do is take 2 times 3 and get 6 and then convert that to feet, because that, when you're squaring something, it will not work out right. So you need to take your 2 and your 3 and convert that to feet and then multiply together to get the answer. Okay, here we have Kate ran 5 miles. How far does she run in kilometers? Well, again, you need to look at your conversion chart from the beginning of the video, and you would know that when you do that, kilometers to miles, I'm finding it here. So 1 mile is approximately equal to 1.61 kilometers. So I'm going to fill in what I know. I know I'm going 5 miles. I'm going to fill that into the state diagram, and that each mile is 1.61 kilometers. Okay, so all I have to do is take this 1.61 and multiply that by 5. But if I was going to use WKU, because you're so used to setting that up, it's going to be miles to kilometers. 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers. I'm going to 5, so I'm going to multiply by 5. If you take 1.61 times 5 in your calculator, you're going to get 8 5/100 kilometers in 5 miles. Okay, so this question says, write a proportion that you can use to convert 60 inches to centimeters. Okay, this is not hard, people. You're going to use WKU. I'm going inches to centimeters. Those are my words, inches to centimeters. 1 inch is 2 54/100 centimeters. I have 60 of them. How do I get from 1 to 60? Multiply by 60. 2.54 times 60 comes out to be, sorry, my dog's on my paper, 152 4/10 centimeters. Okay, so that's your proportion right there. 1 over 2.54 is equal to 60 over 152.4. There's your proportion. In the independent practice, it says, tell which measure is greater. So I'm just going to go to this middle one, 4 liters or 1 gallon. Well, let's look at our conversion factor, okay? And our conversion factor, liters and gallons is what I'm looking at. So I'm going gallons to liters, right? And 1 gallon is 3.79 liters, okay? So if I have 4 liters, I have 4 of them, okay? What's bigger, 4 liters or 1 gallon? Definitely 4 liters is bigger, right? Because if I'm going from 3.79 liters to 4, I'm going to have to multiply that. It's already bigger, right? So 4 divided by 3.79, I would get that I would multiply that by 1.55, okay? And so that would equal 4. Well, that's already bigger than 1 gallon. The conversion factor is bigger. So 4 liters is definitely bigger than 1 gallon, okay? So I hope that makes sense for you. And then let's look at this one. The label on a can of lemonade gives a volume as 12 fluid ounces or 355 milliliters. Verify that these two measurements are nearly equivalent. So that means they might not be exactly equivalent, but they should be super, super close. So we're going to look at our conversion factor. And so it's telling us here, if I'm going from ounces to milliliters, that ounces to milliliters, 1 fluid ounce is 29.6 milliliters, right? Well, let's check it first for 12 fluid ounces. So how do I get from 1 to 12? Of course, I have to multiply by 12. That means I have to multiply 29 to 6/10 times 12. When I do that, I get 355.2. So yes, they are nearly equivalent, right? So this would be ounces, this would be milliliters, and that is what the question gave us. Here are a couple other examples of what is on the independent practice, and you have a formative for that as well. So I'll start with 30. The track team ran 1.25 miles during their practice. How many kilometers did they run? Well, 1.25 miles. So that's 1.25 or 1 1/4, right? Miles. So let's talk about WKU here. I'm going miles to kilometers. And if you look at your conversion factors, then you know that 1 mile is 1.61 kilometers, approximately equal to. Here we have 1.25. So how do I get miles? How do I get from 1 to 1.25? I multiply by 1.25, of course. So then, in my calculator, I'm going to take my 1.61, multiply that by 1.25. Oh, sorry, my phone calculator isn't working out for me here. And I'm going to get 2, and I'll round it to 100th. 2 1/100th kilometers. Okay, so that's where we're at for number 30. So again, all of these problems are solved exactly how you've been doing this for probably, close to 2 months now. Find the conversion factor, use WKU to figure it out, and then you will get your equal proportions. Okay? If you have any questions, please comment or email me. You'll have a formative to solve for the guided practice and independent practice. Thanks, guys.